The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, well, good morning, and thank you for attending our webinar today. This is Jim Guinan. I'm an Annuity Sales Director here with Insurance Agency Marketing. Today, we have Paul Garofoli with National Western Life. He's going to talk to us here in just a little bit about the new dynamic series that National Western has to offer. Paul is a Vice President at National Western, so we appreciate his information here to follow. Our webinar today will be recorded, so if for some reason you have to leave early, we hope that's not the case, or listen to it later again. We do record the webinar, and we do appreciate your time this morning. With that, I will get started, tell you a little bit about what's happening here at IMS, Insurance Agency Marketing, and then in a few minutes, I'll turn the presentation over to Paul. So I want to talk to you about some ongoing incentives that we have here at IMS to help you in your business as you're starting with us. And of course, a couple of those are the Referred Producer Money Program, where you refer individuals to us, those that are writing fixed annuity and life business. And what we want to do is we want to reward you for that. So when that referral contracts with us, we will cut you a check for $50, and as they continue to write business, as you can see, we will pay you an ongoing incentive override, as it is for their business. And this is unlimited, so it's not limited to 2 or 3 producers total. We have many agents that have referred double-digit producers to us over the years and are receiving a reward for that ongoing. So we want to thank you for your business, as well as for those people that you put in touch with us. Our marketing reimbursement program continues to move forward. And again, as you write your index business, your single premium life business, we put dollars into that marketing reimbursement program for you to later use for business expenses. So you just submit your receipts, and then we reimburse you for 50% of those costs. So again, this is ongoing, and it doesn't, it's not a use it or lose it at the end of the year. So if you want to build that up over a while and then take advantage of it later, you can certainly do so. Our new producer bonus is ongoing, has been very successful. This is for your business as you write in your first 6 months with us, 180 days. As you reach each of these thresholds at the end of that 6 months, these are the items that you can look to receive. So for example, after 6 months, if you've written $300,000 of indexed annuity business, you can get up to a program, a Social Security mailing of $3,000, a marketing reimbursement, or you can just get a gift card or cash for that. So again, it's our way of saying thanks to you for writing your business, deciding to place your business with us here at IMS. And again, it's an ongoing program. It's been going on for many years now. Our back office support continues to do great things for not only for us here in the marketing area, but also for you. So if you need any assistance with cases that you've submitted, for example, you may already know, but you do have a case manager that will follow that case through, whether it's life or annuity. If you need illustrations or casework done, you can talk with us in the marketing department, whether it's annuity or life. Some items that I think really help all of us is the paperless contracting. So you fill out that paperwork once. That pretty much allows you to get appointed with future carriers. Probably 90% of our companies are on that contract. So you don't have to fill something out every time. You can add additional carriers. And so just a couple of the things that we see are continuing to help you in your business. Our creative department has been very busy lately. Those individuals are helping you with building websites, improving a website that you may have. Also, email newsletters I know are very much in demand right now. So if you have something you want to do different this year, perhaps branding your business better, talking about different ways to prospect, reach out to our creative department. As Tasia, Josh, and Andrew, they can help you, and they'll give you an idea what it cost there is to that. So again, we've seen in tremendous growth in this area in the last year. All right, talking about our website, which is www.iamsinc.com. That's IAMSINC.com. If you've not been to our website lately, I would suggest checking it out. There's some great tools in there. We do have a agent resource reference or library in there with some great presentations, financial calculators. There's also fact finders. There's a multitude of sales tools that you can utilize there. You can also get term quotes. If you need to get updates on the current rates for annuities, we do post our rate book, which we all have in the annuity department at our desk, but it is also online. So it does have the better selling products from each of our top carriers. It will have multi-year rates posted, the MIGA rates, and then also income riders. So it's not all inclusive. It would be very difficult to do so with the 30 companies we have, but it does a good job of giving you what you need if you know kind of what you're looking for. So also our webinar calendar is out there. And so there's a number of tools and information that you can learn from our website. Okay, in our retirement analyzer program, I won't delve into that too much here, but this is basically a program that was developed by agents for agents. It's a very comprehensive financial program. If you're interested in getting access to that and what's cost is involved, you can certainly reach out to us here in the annuity department. We do have a point person for that, is Marcus. So if you do have interest in the retirement analyzer, I would suggest giving him a call. He'll tell you, how you can use it, how accessible you can have that right away, and what cost is involved in the program. All right, our wealth management, IAMS Wealth Management, has now been in business now for 2 years, and we've seen tremendous growth with this. If you're interested in growing your business as a whole and would like to consider this, please let us know. I'm going to allow you here an opportunity to respond to a question. If you'd like to get more information on IAMS Wealth Management, please let us know. We'll be glad to give you a call, send you some information, give you an idea of what's involved in being a investment advisor rep, what the costs are of that program, and growing that business, what it costs to get licensed and so on. They'd be glad to give you an idea of what's involved in becoming part of a registered investment advisor. Okay, well, I do appreciate your response to that. If you later on you decide you'd like to know more, you can certainly let me know, or anybody in the annuity department will put you in touch with Charles and his team to talk to you about the wealth management side of our business here at IAMS. Okay, moving on and just about done here. Want to visit with you about our Life and Annuity Academy. We do have an academy now scheduled. Our next one, second one of the year, will be May 23rd through the 25th. That will be here at our brokerage office in Omaha. If you have interest in that, we'd like to visit with you. Again, this is a 2-day training. Usually starts on a Wednesday evening and finishes up on a Friday afternoon, like noon. As you can see, some of the topics that we go through, this is updated every time. So an academy that we have now might not be necessarily the same information that what we had a year or two ago. But if you're writing fixed annuity and life business and would like to know more about how to grow that business along with us, let us know. We usually invite around 35 to 40 producers, and we are now taking registrations. By the way, the academy that we have scheduled for the end of March has already been completed as far as our invite list. So if you have seen an email go out about an academy and it mentioned March, that one is now closed off. but we are starting to take registrations for the May 23rd to the 25th. And that is the last few days prior to Memorial Day weekend. So just so you know that. So I'm going to launch a question here. If you would like to get more information about the Academy, or get some information sent to you, we'll be glad to do that. If you've not been sent anything before, you will definitely receive an email after this webinar is over, most likely in the next 2-3 hours. And myself or any of the other marketing staff would be glad to visit with you more about the Academy, any questions you have, what we're looking for, and what we expect. Now, again, this will be in our Omaha brokerage office here at Insurance Agency Marketing. We will also want you to be, if you're not already, appointed with several of our top annuity companies. All right, and and I want to also remind you throughout our webinar here that if you have any questions about anything that Paul goes through or that I covered here briefly, certainly type those in. I'll be glad to respond to you on those questions that you have. So thank you for your response to the Academy. And I do want to mention to you that we will be announcing our next marketing summit, which again is a social and educational event. The qualification period or the invitational, what have you, would have started here just in the last month or so. So we want you to be aware of that, and we will announce where this will be, and certainly be looking forward to having a number of top producers attend that event. So I do not know, no one's told me, so I don't have any insight on this yet, but we do want to make sure that you know we will have another marketing summit, and that will take place in 2019. Okay, so with that, I want to turn over to Paul, and I will let him take over here and answer, well, he'll answer questions, but talk a little more about his program. Paul?
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Imes. Wow, what a platform to succeed in this business. You know, one of the things that I get the privilege to do is work with some of the finest distribution organizations in the country, and Imes is among the finest. In particular, what I like is their ability to be equally strong in both life insurance and annuities. And that is a rare set of skills to have that strength in both those elements, the marketing, the support, everything that you need is there. In fact, I would consider Imes to be a dynamic distributor. And to that point, let's talk about the Dynamic Series from National Western Life. I'm Paul Garofoli, Vice President and Head of NMO Sales. Really pleased to bring to you this new product set. And we describe it, ladies and gentlemen, as everything you want in a fixed index annuity and nothing that you don't. You know, the value proposition of fixed index annuities is resolute. There are some great features that are unique to this product set, but there are also some give-ups or give-backs in the design, particularly when it comes to fees, particularly when it comes to liquidity. We think we've got all those objections, all those concerns, all the weaknesses of a fixed index annuity addressed in the Dynamic Series. Everything you want in a fixed index annuity and nothing that you don't. In particular, and this is something that has been really the Achilles heel for National Western Life and really at some other places as well, which is that the nature of indexing is subject to a couple of variables that insurance companies can't necessarily control: the interest rate environment, options costs, volatility. All these things go into that. In many of our products at National Western Life, we have bonused or enhanced terms in the first year, and then we come back to the field in the second year. But sometimes that that change can be jarring. So one of the things that we wanted to build into this product series is renewal accrual, renewal consistency over the life of the contract. So not only do you get the great features and the protection elements of a fixed index annuity, but some predictability and stability in the renewal terms over time. In addition, shorter duration periods. This is a 7 and 10 year product chassis. So I've got a 7-year version and a 10-year version. Both these products have 2 uncapped index strategies, including, for the first time at National Western Life, we're basically the last to the table, but we think we got the best of the best, a volatility controlled index and cumulative withdrawals. You know, one of the things that National Western Life is known for in its fixed indexed annuity product sets is liquidity. No one has the liquidity that National Western Life has in its product set. But sometimes that liquidity is found in longer duration products, 13 years, 15 years. Sometimes you're in a state you can't even sell those as good as they are. So we have put some powerful liquidity provisions, cumulative withdrawals, which I'll talk about in a little bit, a 60% policy loan, and an income rider without an upfront fee. And I'm going to talk about the importance of that relative to your business, relative to your client base, relative to your prospect base as we go forward. And oh, by the way, issuable to age 90. So when you think about uncapped index, accumulation potential, low or no fees, and liquidity, I want you to think of National Western Life, Dynamic, and IMES. So we touch upon all these things: accumulation, liquidity, lifetime income, premium outlay protection, and then renewal consistency. 2 product sets. The Core Dynamic, it is a 7-year version of the product. The Pro Dynamic is a 10-year version of the product. One or both of these products is available everywhere that we do business in, except California. California is still pending. We are vigorously and rigorously going through the approval process, and we expect to be there soon. But for right now, we have one or both versions of these products. Some things that you should know about here with the product specs, I'll just call out a few of them. The Core Dynamic is a 7-year walk-away product. Some people ask me about the 10-year contract term. That's done to meet some standard non-forfeiture requirements, but your clients can walk away after 7 years fully intact in that version of the product. Issue age is important. We can issue this up to age 90. Think about that. A lot of carriers have lowered their eligibility rates on the back end to 85, to 80, 75 even. In some cases, they may be able to issue at an older age, but they take away some of the benefits. We don't do any of that. We issue it up to age 90. Now, admittedly, for your older clients, 88, 89, the commission gets pretty thin, but nonetheless, we can do it. And as the fastest growing demographic in the country are people approaching 100 or at 100, so those folks deserve some of the protection and upside potential of a fixed index annuity, particularly in a shorter chassis. Certainly suitable in the right circumstances. Cumulative withdrawal here. Also want to point out that our minimums are pretty low barriers, $5,000 for qualified, $10,000 for non-qualified. And by the way, these products are flexible premium, both the Core Dynamic, the 7-year, and the Pro Dynamic, the 10-year. And this is something I want to point out to you as financial advisors and professionals. You know, a lot of our business, a lot of your business is qualified funds. 401k rollovers, IRA exchanges, great. Now, most people that have an IRA or 401k rollover, that's going to be their IRA. They're going to want to add more premium to it. And ironically enough, the vast majority of fixed index annuities out there are single premium only. Now, does that make sense? Does it make sense to be selling on a qualified account where there's likely to be additional contributions, a product that doesn't take them? Our products take ongoing premium every month, every day, with a minimum of $100. I think that's real important. This also has a terminal illness benefit where we waive the surrender charges in the diagnosis of terminal illness, and a medical stay waiver where 75% of the contract value is available in the event of a medical stay, plus a policy loan provision of 60%. So those liquidity provisions, the terminal illness, the medical stay waiver, the policy loan, and in particular the cumulative withdrawal are so important. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 7-year surrender charge period product, so you have that. Now, the special features in this product, remember, not only do you get all the advantages of fixed index annuity, but you get some of these unique attributes available only from National Western Life. So first, this product has an early annuitization feature. What that means is that you can annuitize after 5 years in the contract for as little as 5 years. So we call that 5x5 or longer. Can you annuitize for 10 years? Great. Can you annuitize for 15, 20? Sure you can. The idea here is that this can serve as an income bucket, income ladder type of solve. Not only that, but the payout is significantly enhanced. We have an annuitization factor that we standardly use in calculating payments, but we're going to enhance that by 150 basis points. That's pretty significant. So the payouts are going to be pretty strong. So basically, you can use this like a deferred SPIA, but get paid like a fixed index annuity. Now, if you do that 5x5 early annuitization, there has to be no withdrawals from the policy. So if you're going to build an income ladder, make sure that the client doesn't take any funds out, but that's a nice feature. The second feature, again, liquidity driven, all the benefits of a fixed index annuity and nothing that you don't like, particularly tying up clients' money. This product has a 20% cumulative withdrawal. That means the withdrawal privilege rolls over from year to year if you don't use it. It's very much like your cell phone minutes on your plan. If you don't use those cell phone minutes this month, it rolls over to the next month. So what this means is that the client can build a pool of liquidity to take advantage of new opportunities, whether it's an emergency, whether it's for fun, whether it's for a new investment opportunity that maybe you might recommend somewhere along the line. This cumulative withdrawal provision restarts every time you use it. So you could go 10%, 20%, use it. Go another couple years, there's another 20%. Go another couple years, there's another 20%. And one of the advantages of working with National Western Life with this cumulative withdrawal provision is that we also process partial 1035 exchanges. So that means if there's another opportunity, if Jim and Matt and the team at IAMS come up with a new product, a new idea, if there's a MIGA that pays 8%, I don't know what it's going to be, you can instruct National Western Life, with the permission of the client, of course, to take that cumulative withdrawal and do a transfer to your next favorite carrier, back into a CD if CD rates rise, back into money markets if they become more attractive, whatever it is, or back in the client's pocket just for fun. All those opportunities are available to you. You're not locking up money when you put it with National Western Life in these incredible liquidity provisions. So it's really, really strong in that regard. Now we have another version of the Dynamic series, the Pro Dynamic. This is a 10-year version of the product, and because some states are 70-10 and have other different non-forfeiture regulations, it's not available everywhere, but it's available in a lot of states. This is a 10-year declining surrender charge schedule, again, available up to age 90. The same contribution minimums, $5,000 for qualified, $10,000 for non-qualified. Oh, by the way, I talk about the maximum age. Did you know that National Western Life, there is no minimum age for eligibility for our annuities or for our income rider features? And one of the reasons I mention that is that you are dealing every day with the sons and daughters of maybe your current client base. Some of you may be in the advisor capacity for people saving for retirement, 401k rollovers, IRA rollovers or exchanges. So we can offer these great products to a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, all those people that are contemplating retirement that need your services. Now, the big distinction in terms of benefit, all the benefits remain the same: the withdrawal privilege, the terminal illness rider, the medical stay waiver, but we have a cumulative withdrawal in this product up to 50%. That is amazing. That is not available anywhere else, any other carrier. A cumulative withdrawal to 50% on a 10-year product chassis. You know, one of my top-selling products, ladies and gentlemen, is a product called the Ultra Classic. That's available from IMS. Real strong product, but that's a 13-year product. It's got this cumulative withdrawal up to 50%. And I've had so many agents and advisors tell me, Paul, if only you could get me a cumulative withdrawal in a shorter duration product, 7 years, 10 years, man, I would sell that. Guess what? We just did that. Cumulative withdrawal to 50%. Your clients are not annuity poor, they are benefit rich. They are liquidity rich. This is the ultimate objection buster to purchasing a fixed indexed annuity. I can't get at my money, Mr. Agent. I'm tying it up. No, you're not. You're protecting it, helping it grow at a steady rate. And if other opportunities or personal needs come up, you can access liquidity in a bunch of different ways. The cumulative withdrawal works the same way. 10% becomes 20, 20 becomes 30, 30 becomes 40, 40 becomes 50. You build up this pool of liquidity. Do you have to wait 5 years to get to 50%? No. You can do it in any increment anywhere along the way, and it restarts. So you can go a couple years. I got 20%. I'm going to take that off the table and do something else with it. I'm going to go 3 more years. I can take 30%. Well, that 20 plus 30 gets me to 50. Then I'm done, right? No. It starts again. The 50% limit is not a lifetime limit, a contract limit. It is just a cumulative limit on how much you can accumulate. Once you access that liquidity, however, it restarts again. I've got 50% liquidity. I'm going to take 10% out. Where do I stand? You have 40% liquidity then for the next year. And when that 10% withdrawal privilege comes up on anniversary, now you're back to 50. So it's really a pool of funds that provide flexibility for you and for the client. Really significant. Think about all the objections you've had relative to accessing capital on behalf of the client. Think about the uncertainty of the interest rate environment. I keep hearing interest rates are going up. They're creeping up. The Fed has announced at least 4 interest rate increases this year. Will we have hyperinflation and really have it jump up? I don't know. But when those opportunities present themselves, doesn't it make sense to have some of your clients' assets in products that can provide this measure of liquidity? Amazing. Now, the founding principles of fixed index annuities: safety with guarantees, retain your gains, get a reasonable rate of return superior to other safe money instruments. We think we can do that with the Dynamic Series. We've added an index strategy unique to National Western Life, or relatively unique, our first volatility controlled index, but we have our other strategies as well. At National Western Life, we base our index strategies on the S&P 500. We don't have proprietary indexes. We don't have some of those razzle-dazzle indexes that didn't exist last year, but now are available because they were specifically designed to game the system. They looked at those returns, they looked at the performance of the underlying index, and then they designed an index strategy today that would have maximized the variabilities in performance of that underlying index. We base it on the S&P 500. The reason why: we want multiple counterparties, multiple trading partners, so we don't get handcuffed on behalf of our policyholders with one index that only one provider provides, and then what if they decide to change their mind? So what do we have? We have a monthly averaging annual reset of the S&P 500 with a participation rate and sometimes a spread or an asset fee. When I reference asset fees in the context of our fixed indexed interest strategies, it is a margin or a spread. We just call it an asset fee. Option B is a fixed rate. We have a monthly point-to-point strategy. For those of you familiar with National Western Life, we are going to pull the monthly point-to-point or monthly sum strategy in all our other products with the exception of the dynamic series. So if you like option D, monthly point-to-point, D means dynamic, this is the place that you need to be. We will have on the Pro Dynamic, the 10-year version, an annual point-to-point strategy. We charge a little bit of a fee to boost up the cap on that. We think it's pretty decent. And then finally, our featured index, the S&P 500, low volatility, daily risk control, 5% excess return. Boy, is that a mouthful. But this has a participation rate, an asset fee. It's based on the S&P 500, not some voodoo index that they came up with in the laboratory. And we're going to talk about that particular index right now. This is something you can track. It's available. If you put S&P 500, low volatility, daily risk control, 5% excess return, you'll find that. So how do we get that? How does this index work? Makes some pretty good sense. We take the universe of the S&P 500, the 500 stocks in the S&P 500. Then we select the top 100 with the lowest volatility over the last 12 months. Volatility has a direct correlation to index costs, to index upside, and so when you choose low volatility, that gives you the opportunity to get some decent upside at today's interest rates and at today's option cost. So we take that top 100 stocks. So again, you're based on in essence, 1/5 or 20% of the S&P 500, that universe. And like most volatility controlled indexes, you're balancing other asset classes. In this case, we balance cash with the underlying index. So as interest rates rise, potentially over the next couple years, we'll have that flexibility to capture some return in that way. So to deliver a nice overall return, to maintain volatility. Volatility leads to consistent index option pricing, which leads to consistent renewal terms over time. So we think that's pretty strong. So again, option A, monthly point to point with an annual reset and no cap, by the way. Option B, fixed rate. Option D, the monthly point to point or monthly sum with the cap, annual point to point, and then the low volatility excess return index, the S&P 500 daily risk control 5% excess return. So what are the terms here? And this is something that we're very careful to announce, to share. We're sharing with you not only our first year rates, but our projected renewal. We know in the environment right now, based on our portfolio rate, options cost, the margins in the product, where we should be 1 year from now. So we're basing the renewals on where we are today. The S&P 500 monthly averaging, annual reset, 50% participation, less a 50% asset fee, no cap. So if on average, the S&P 500 on a monthly average basis did 10%, we would offer 50% of that, less the 50 basis point spread. 50% of 10 is 5 minus 50, or 50 basis points, that's 4.5%. So that would be an example there. More importantly, the renewal is consistent. 50% participation again, no cap, The spread or asset fee changes a little bit, just 10 basis points, so it holds pretty true. The fixed rate, 1.6, decent. That's going to go up. So, pretty consistent renewal experience. The monthly point-to-point, rather than tease you with the higher cap rate, we're going to go 1% monthly cap. That means if it caps out over 12 months, you get each and every month worth of index potential up to the cap per month. 1% per month times 12 would get you a maximum of 12%. Now, that hasn't happened too often. Interestingly enough, it just happened this past year. So you could have that upside potential, but no more than 12%, and likely somewhere in and around maybe 5 or 6% in a good year. It's going to renew at 1%, so very strong there. And then our option U, man, talk about consistency. 65% participation, annual reset. By the way, this is a point-to-point strategy, so there's no variations in between. The only variations that occur are the balancing between the stock element and the cash element over the course of the year. 65% participation with no cap. Renewal, 65% participation. Isn't that pretty pleasant? Isn't that consistent? Ideally, we're going to get some nice returns for your clients over time, but remember, what's the objective? Protection, retaining gains, and competing with other safe money instruments. We think we can do that with this renewal strategy. The Pro Dynamic adds the annual point-to-point strategy, but again, you see that consistency over time. The S&P 500 monthly averaging, that is a 50% participation, no cap, some adjustments for the asset fee margin. Fixed rate, 1.8, you get a little bit better rate in the first year for going longer. That'll renew at 1.7. The option D, a little bit more in the first year for the cap, 1.25. That's going to renew at 1. I'm telling you now. The annual point-to-point, that's got a 4% cap. Pretty straightforward. Point-to-point, what the market does. We do charge a fee for this cap rate. So what that means is that while we'll index all of the client's money, we are going to take a fee on the front end to buy up the cap. That's going to renew at 3.5%. And then you get a little bit more participation in the first year with this 10-year version of the product, 70% participation. That's pretty solid. Then renewing at 65%. So again, a very consistent renewal experience. There is also a unique withdrawal benefit rider or income rider in the Dynamic series that we think makes so much sense. Now, we have been known for very competitive income in the first 5 years of income. And that's just because of how we designed our rider, how we designed some incredibly high rates of withdrawal over time. So generally, National Western Life is number one in income solves in years 1 through 4, 1 through 5, then we start to drop off. So keep that in mind initially. We are offering all of our income rider inventory on this product. We have traditionally 2 riders, the Income Outlook and Income Outlook Plus 5. That's available. So if you're familiar with National Western Life, those riders are available on the Dynamic series, but we're also offering a Dynamic rider, which I want to talk about right now, that is available. And this is a whole different approach to income. There are some products out there that mirror this strategy, but what this is an income rider with no roll-up. What? That doesn't make sense. Well, there's some products out there that have what I call a one-bucket approach to income. This is one of those deals, except I'm not charging a fee during the accumulation phase. This is real critical. So what this means is the accumulation value, the account value, equals the withdrawal payment base. That's what it is. There's no enhancement. There's no razzle-dazzle. Whatever it is at time of income triggering, that's what the value of the income will be. Now, there's waiting periods. The Core Dynamic, the 7-year version, there's a 1 year. The Pro Dynamic, a little bit longer, there's a 5-year wait to trigger income, minimum age 60, of course. Now, the rider cost is 95 basis points. Paul, I thought you said there's no charge. There's no upfront charge. So here's the key, and here's the genius of this design. The rider is charged, or the fee is charged on the rider only if the client elects withdrawal benefit payments. And in essence, they are paying for the longevity element of income riders only. And quite frankly, that's the main value. All the other stuff, man, I see people 7% roll up, 6% roll up, your income value will double. You know, that's a whole bunch of BS. It doesn't matter what your value is. It matters what you get paid. It matters what the check is. So, for example, on my traditional riders, Income Outlook and Income Outlook Plus 5, my roll-up is 3%. But I have the highest payouts in years 1 through 5. Wait a minute. Isn't 7 better than 3? It's all gamesmanship, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the payouts. Look at the cost of the rider. So we have this unique rider available. In essence, no upfront cost. Your client can wait and see, and then they only pay for the longevity element of the contract. This also includes an income doubler for nursing home confinement, so very strong there. And this is the key element that I want you to think about in design of fixed index annuities and design of income riders in particular, is what is the effect of rider costs over time? It can be significant. You know, we talk about triple compounding with a deferred annuity. You get interest. You get interest on your interest, and you get interest on the taxes you didn't pay. Well, there's kind of like reverse triple compounding when you consider the fees. You pay the fee. You lose interest on the fee that you paid. You lose interest on the interest on the fee that you paid. Does that make sense? So what we have here is just a comparison. This is not our rider, but how much would you lose over time based on a 1% rider charge, a 2% rider charge? I have some people tell me fees don't matter. It's all about income. Well, I'm going to challenge you. Right now, less than 20% of all those annuities out there with income riders are in the income phase, are incomatized. So people are paying for a benefit that they have yet to exercise. Now, maybe down the line, we're going to have 50, 60, 70% triggering of income riders. But right now, we don't. But I can tell you, people are looking at their statements and going, hey, there's $1,000 missing in my account. What happened? I didn't take $1,000 out, Mr. Agent. Oh, Mrs. McGillicuddy, let me explain. You know, we bought an income rider for income you can't outlive. Yup. Yeah, but where's my money? You get that? So here you're only paying for the longevity element. One of the unique attributes of National Western Life and part of the gamesmanship on part of the other guys, we have high rates of withdrawal. Those people that talk to you about income value, that talk about roll-up without talking about their rate of withdrawal, in my opinion, are unethical. Kick them out of your office. That's a critical part. It's not what it is, it's what you can get. It's not the payment base, it's not the income value, it's the rate of withdrawal. You know, they used to say the economy, stupid. It's the rate of withdrawal, stupid. It's the benefit payment, stupid. That's what matters with income riders. In our case, we have very, very high rates of withdrawal, 5% at age 60, and it goes up every year, 5.1 at 62, 5.3 at 63, 5.9 at 69. Very, very powerful rates of withdrawal. Now, here's the opportunity for you, and this is how this rider works and can be so powerful. Even in this robust economic environment, market at all-time highs, most experts, most studies say the safe rate of withdrawal so that you don't run out of money out of a balanced investment portfolio consisting of stocks and bonds needs to be somewhere between 3 and 4%. Okay, that's great. And oh, by the way, that's got like a 95% probability of lasting But, let me ask you this question. If you had to fly on an airplane and there was a 5% probability that that airplane would crash, would you get on that airplane? Well, that's what other advisors, that's what the financial advisor community is telling retirees. Here's a way to lock in longevity, income you can't outlive, whatever their portfolio is. You go into here, if you're 60, it's 5%, not 3.5%, which is the recommended rate of withdrawal on a basket of assets. Even older, 70, 6%. You see where I'm going with that? So there's a real opportunity right now, I think, to take some risk off the table, to lock in this rider for which they will not pay a fee until they actually trigger the benefit. Now, when they do, it's 95 basis points, but that value is locked in. Those payments are locked in. They still have the potential to grow in excess of that with the indexing. So we think that's really strong. I'll just touch upon the other riders very briefly. These are our traditional roll-up riders. It is available as an option as well. The Income Outlook has a 3% compounding rider, the same high rates of withdrawal that I just showed you. The fee is 1%. But again, here's something that's unique to National Western Life. We waive the fee when there's no gain in the contract. So if you use the Income Outlook rider or the Dynamic rider, their account value is not going to have deductions for the rider over time. All the money will remain in play. All the gains that they earn will be in play as well. So very, very powerful Income Outlook. So if you want a traditional roll-up with not an invasive effect as a result of the rider, we've got it in the Income Outlook. Those are the rates of withdrawal. The Income Outlook plus 5, you need a bonus. This is a income rider with a real premium bonus, not a benefit-based bonus. Man, is that a bunch of nonsense. 5% premium bonus that manifests itself in all elements of the contract, the income value for sure, the accumulation value for sure, and the death benefit for sure. Now, it's a real premium bonus. You get what you pay for. It's a 1.5% fee. So understand the impact of that on client value. And now, I kind of echo some of the criticism I had of other products that charge a fee. This is the case here with this rider, but it might fit in some circumstances, plus the income doubler. So you have that. Nursing home provision, I won't spend too much time on that. Basically, there's a 2-year wait, 90 days of confinement, and then we'll double the value of the income payment at any point in time. So we have that. And then basically there's a 5-year doubling effect on it, and then they come back to the base payment that would have occurred had they not been confined to a nursing home. So ultimately, I think we've delivered on the promise, the dynamic promise, accumulation, liquidity, lifetime income as an option, intelligent income, as I like to say, premium outlay protection, and then renewal consistency over time. And man, I think this is some great opportunity for you to take a little different approach to how you're positioning fixed index annuity products within your client base. Think about those clients that have maybe not been welcoming to your strategies because of the lack of liquidity. Now you have it from a highly rated carrier with a great reputation for innovation from National Western Life. So I close with this. IAMS Nation, do you want to be dull or do you want to be dynamic? Let's get dynamic with the Dynamic Series from National Western Life. Jim, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. Very good. I wanted to also mention to you that are in attendance today that if you would like to get more information on the Dynamic Series that Paul was just going through here, please answer yes to that poll question that I just launched. We certainly appreciate your time, Paul. And as we get questions throughout this webinar post-presentation, we will certainly answer those. And if there's something that we need to direct to Paul, we can do that. But I do want to thank you for your attendance today. So we do appreciate it. Again, if there's any questions that come up, please let me know, and we'd be glad to answer anything about the dynamic series, about the income rider, the product itself, and any features of that. So Paul, thanks so much for your time today. We appreciate it. We will be looking forward to answering questions about this product and starting to take applications. Now, I do have a question myself. When is the annuity available for sale right now? And you mentioned a lot of states, but is it available right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, so I could tell you that Jim, the core dynamic, the 7-year version of the product is available basically everywhere in the United States, with the exception of New York State, where we don't do business,
Okay.
and California, where we're pending approval.
Okay.
The Pro Dynamic, which is the 10-year version of the product, that's in about half the states.
Mm-hmm.
There's a handful, maybe now we're up to 7 or 8 states that are basically 70-10 type of states that won't let a 10-year version like this be available. So the Core Dynamic will be the place to go for these benefits. So just give your annuity representative a call, or call National Western Life, and we can let you know when and where these products are available.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Paul. And all of you have a great day. We appreciate your time and look forward to helping you soon. Thanks so much.